What is going on, YouTube? It is Better Welder here. Today, we are doing the NFL tier list for the 2025 season. Now, I watch a lot of the NFL. I watch a lot of the highlights, everything that's posted on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. So I know a lot of these teams, and there's some that I know but haven't watched too much of it. So it's hard for me to predict where they're going to be at. So if you enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you want more tier lists in the future, let me know in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I am trying to hit 500 subscribers right now. So, of all the things, I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so as I said in my intro, this is the tier list of the NFL for the 2025 season. So we're going to go down from the best to the worst. So, the first one is Super Bowl favorites. This is where you be putting, like, who do you think is going to be Super Bowl favorites this year? The Super Bowl contenders, you probably could name what those are, like those kind of things are. The playoffs team, the wild potential cards, missing the playoff teams, mediocre at best, young but intriguing. I'm guessing it's like they're a young team, but they just haven't figured out like how to get to like even the playoffs. And then the number one pick contention, thinking, oh, well, they're going to be a playoff team this year, or they're Super Bowl contenders this year, but then at the end, they kind of suck. That's how they have made these tier lists. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so as a Kansas City and a Colts fan, this is kind of hard for me to put it where I wanted to put it because of just the demolished of the Kansas City Chiefs. So with the Philadelphia Eagles, you know what? I think they're going to still be a Super Bowl favorites this year. I think they have still a whole lot of years making the playoffs, going to Super Bowl, especially with Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown. I say they're still the Super Bowl favorites. I know some people may disagree, but honestly, that's why I could see them as favorites right now for this year. The Cincinnati Bengals. All right. I know a lot of people are going to probably hate me for putting where they're at, but I still think they're Super Bowl favorites. I think last year was a huge struggle for Joe Burrow because he didn't have a good O-line, and then his defense kind of just sucks in so many ways. So in my opinion, I think he and the Bengals will be favorites, Super Bowl favorites. I know some people are going to put him as contenders, I think they're going to be Super Bowl favorites. I would like to see Joe Burrow to go back in the Super Bowl again and at least win a ring, but not demolish the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. But who knows? We'll see. I think they'll be Super Bowl favorites this year again. Maybe some people will agree, some people won't. The Buffalo Bills. Man, I kind of feel bad for the Bills fans, especially when they have to go against Kansas City in the playoffs. They do so well in the regular season. They beat the Chiefs in the regular season. But when it comes with the playoffs, of course, people are going to probably say in the comments, oh, it's the refs. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, you know, they were favoring Kansas City the whole entire way. Oh, the thing is scripted. I can still see them being Super Bowl favorites. I'm sorry, but a lot of people probably want to see Josh Allen win a Super Bowl ring and see the Bills win pretty much their first Super Bowl. They've been to the Super Bowl, but they never won the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that's kind of sad, but you know, it's what it is. The Kansas City Chiefs. As a Chiefs fan, I could care less about Taylor Swift. I could care about Travis Kelce, both of them dating. I don't see that as a problem. Yes, it does get annoying watching on TV. Them like, oh yeah, Taylor, woo, woo, woo. So it's like no one really cares about the Taylor Swift fans, really. I'm sorry to any Swiftie fans, but as a person who's a Kansas City and a Patrick Mahomes fan, I actually enjoy just watching football for once in a lifetime. So I could see Kansas City being pretty much still favorites because the popularity for Kansas City has been huge. But then, of course, there's other, like, you know, popularity of hating Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and so on and so forth. So, yeah. The Baltimore Ravens. This is a hard one to put because I want to say they're Super Bowl favorites. But for whatever reason, in the playoffs, they struggle. Like, Lamar Jackson, he's a great quarterback. They got a good running back, Derrick Henry. They got good wide receivers, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. Now they got Andre Hopkins. So, in my opinion, I think DeAndre Hopkins. Sorry, I just mispronounced his name. DeAndre Hopkins. They're a good team. I say they're going to be contenders this year. It would be surprising if they did get to the Super Bowl if they don't flunk the playoffs. They can't flunk the playoffs this year. In my opinion, I just don't see that happening. If they flunk the playoffs, there's something wrong with the coaching or the offensive coordinator or something, because it's ridiculous to see them struggle in the playoffs. Besides last year with Mark Andrews dropping the ball. The Detroit Lions. Look, honestly, I didn't even do sports betting, but if I was betting on the Lions to actually beat the Commanders last year, I would have been really, 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 really ticked off of using my money on that. The Detroit Lions, I'm going to say they're going to be Super Bowl contenders. I don't think they're really favorites yet. I haven't seen much of the fan base saying, oh, we want to see the Lions go to the Super Bowl. I think there's like maybe similar kind of popularity of them being favorites, but I just don't see it yet. I would like to see, if the Lions do make it to Super Bowl this year, I would like to see the Lions and the Chiefs at least. Maybe I can't say the Colts yet. I don't want, no. I'm sorry. Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, he has proven that he is an NFL quarterback. He has proven that he can play well. He has proven that he can lead to the team to the Super Bowl. The Green Bay Packers, I couldn't remember. I think they made it to playoffs last year, I want to say. Yeah, they did, because they had a good record. I can't remember who their first round was, but... I don't know. I can't remember, because it's so hard to remember. But the Green Bay Packers, I think they're going to be Super Bowl favorites this year. They just signed Micah Parsons. They traded their few round picks for Micah Parsons, and they're their DT to the Cowboys. So Micah Parsons with the Green Bay Packers defense, I say the Green Bay are going to be huge Super Bowl favorites this year. I think they have a huge potential. Just depends how the regular season goes. Jordan Love has to be on his A game for him to prove that, hey, we're going to get there. I know we can. So, they're definitely Super Bowl favorites in my opinion. Houston Texans. Houston is in the Colts division, so there are rivals every year, especially when it comes to Indy. I say Houston Texans, they're not really up here yet. I just can't see myself putting them up here or even Super Bowl contenders. They really haven't proven in the playoffs that they can move one round to another to make it to the AFC Championship. Like, they haven't even made it there. They made it to the divisional, and then they got stomped by the Chiefs. So I could see Houston being a playoffs team, but they could be a contender this year when the regular season starts. If the regular season by week 6 or 7, I could see them being here. But it just depends how the regular season goes. Like I said, the Denver Broncos. Now, Sean Payton, he's a good coaching. I think Bo Nix, he's a good quarterback. He did well in his rookie year. But for me, I think they're going to be a potential wild card. Can't say a playoffs team until the regular season starts. Like I said, this is before regular season. So before like Sunday, I could see them being a potential wild card. But other than that, I can't see them being a playoff team until I see more of Bo Nix, more of the offensive line, more of the offense and the defense playing really well this year. The LA Rams. Okay, if the comment section can help me here for like a good solid minute, did they even make it to the playoffs? I couldn't even remember. I can't remember who was on the NFC. I was watching the AFC more than NFC. I know the Eagles were, but that's the only team I could think of. LA Rams, they're a good team. Stafford, I think, in my opinion, I think this will be his last year. They got good solid wide receivers. Got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. So with that kind of duo, I could see them playing really well. They also have a good O-line. So for me, I think they're a playoffs team. I can't say they're contenders yet until the regular season starts, like I said. So they are a playoff team in my eyes. The Buccaneers. All right. So as Tom Brady has retired from the Buccaneers for a couple years now, with Baker Mayfield being on the line, honestly, Baker has proven that he could lead this team to somewhere, at least maybe to a Super Bowl. I can't say he can win one. I'm not saying that right now, but I can't say a lie saying, oh well, they're contenders or they're Super Bowl favorites. I can't say that yet until I see even more of that. I've seen a lot of highlights. There's some games they have really good games, and there's some that are bad. I don't know about Chris Godwin coming back. I can't remember when he's gonna come back. So I heard his injury was brutal. So for me, they're a playoffs team. I had Chris Godwin as my fantasy team last year, and then he was like out for the season, and I lost each week after that. I'm like, well, crap. So there's that. The San Francisco 49ers. You know, Brock Purdy, he's a good quarterback. He is. He has huge potential. He could win a Super Bowl. He led to the team to the Super Bowl and then lost in overtime with Kansas City Chiefs. For me, I think they're going to be a Super Bowl contenders this year. Maybe some people will disagree, but I could see Brock Purdy playing really well, especially with certain wide receivers who are young. So I think they have very, very good potential of doing it. I know they traded a lot of their defense, so we'll see how that goes. The Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels, he did so well in his rookie year last year. He played well. I didn't think... Watching him play was just awesome. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to make the right decisions. I think there were certain other decisions that were good for you. I mean, that's any quarterback as you play in the position. So with the Washington, the Commanders, I could see them being a Super Bowl contenders. And I know some people are going to laugh at me for that. But honestly, with their new owner, GM, and everything, I think they're going to be contenders this year. I think they made it to the NFC championship, and of course lost to the Eagles because the Eagles defense was rocking it. So with me, in my opinion, Washington Commanders, they're going to be Super Bowl contenders. I mean, I know some people may laugh at me and say, you're wrong. Well, you know what? It's before the start of the 2025 season, guys. Okay? So, yeah. The LA Chargers. This is a really hard one to pick because I feel like they're a wild cards, but not really a playoffs team. I know some people may laugh at me for that, but for me, I think they're just a wild card potential. But they're not really up here or even here. I just don't see that. So for me, they're a wild card potential in my opinion. I think with Justin Herbert, if Justin Herbert could prove a little bit more, then yes, you guys could laugh at me on the comment section. All right, the Tennessee Titans. Now, I know Will Levis got hurt, and I think they were going to just go with Cam Ward either way, even if he got hurt or not, because I can't imagine myself seeing another year of Levis drinking Mayos with coffee. So, for me, I think I can't say they're mediocre at best. If Cam Ward can play well, maybe they're here, but for me, I think they're going to miss the playoffs because with Cam Ward being new to the NFL, I think they're going to miss the playoffs. I think they're still in the rebuild year, like with the Colts and the other teams. It's hard to say. So, with me, it's missing the playoffs. The Miami Dolphins. This is a tricky one because they have a good season and some they don't. Mike McDaniels, I think, in my opinion, is a decent head coach. And I don't think he's horrible at making play calls. It's just players not executing. And so, since they got Jalen Waddle and Tyree Hill, I say they're a wild card potential. I can't see myself them being a playoff team yet, or even all the way up here. I would be laughing at myself for that. So for me, wild card potential. The Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if they traded Geno Smith or he was just didn't want to sign another contract with them. But with Cooper Kupp being on the Seattle, I know some people are going to say, well, they're going to be a flunk. I see Sam Darnold played well with the Minnesota Vikings. He did really well with Minnesota. So in my opinion, I think Seattle is still a wild card potential. I can't see them being a playoff team yet until the regular season starts, or Super Bowl contenders, or even favorites. For me, wild card potential. I think they'll prove something wrong in us. Now the Cleveland Browns. This is kind of a tricky one to say because Joe Flacco is now back with the Browns after being with the Colts for a year. With Joe Flacco being a starter quarterback rather than Joshua Sanders, I say they're gonna miss the playoffs. I know some people may laugh at me, maybe not. I know they have Jerry Judy, but I haven't seen much of the offense play really well during the preseason. I mean, I know it's preseason, but at the same time, I can't say, well, they're a potential playoff team. I can't laugh. I would be laughing at myself if they were a wild card team, because I can't say before the regular season, oh, they're a wild card team. Myles Garrett, he's a good defender. The defense would have to step up, and so would the offense. Joe Flacco, he's kind of near to retirement. Let's just be fair, guys. He's near retirement. So, to me, they're missing the playoffs. Indianapolis Colts. You know, Chris Ballard, and if you ever watch this video, I hope you do, because my gosh. Look, I live in Indiana. I do. I live in beautiful Indiana. I'm not going to say what part. Well, I'll say the south part of Indiana, but I'm not going to say which area in Indiana. I live about an hour away from Indy. And honestly, I always want to drive up there and slap the GM for not making the right decisions. He has not even proven that this team is a Super Bowl contenders. They always say, oh yeah, we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. We're like the Cowboys, for gosh sakes. We're saying, oh yeah, we're Super Bowl contenders because we had an amazing year last year. We went 9-8 and then we missed the playoffs. For me, they're mediocre at best. But I will say this: if Daniel Jones could prove himself that he could play football and make the right damn decisions, I would say they're a potential wild card. That's what I'm saying. They are probably going to miss the playoffs. I'm sorry to say that. Either they're going to miss the playoffs or they'll make the playoffs. It's one of those two. And if Daniel Jones doesn't do well, I want to see Riley Leonard play for the Colts. I don't want to see Richardson sign another deal. I don't want to see Danny Dimes signing another deal. I want Riley Leonard to be with the Colts. I want him to be a starter next year. He has proven himself he can play a good quarterback. But that was the preseason, so we'll see. Right now, I say they're mediocre at best. But I could be wrong. But I think most of the popularity, if people watch this all the way, I think they would agree with me. They're mediocre at best. The Chicago Bears. This is hard. This is a hard one to say. I think they're still a young team. I can't say they're a wild card potential. I can't say they're missing the playoffs. It's a kind of more of a younger team still. Caleb Williams, he has proven that he's good, but I think there's some sloppy decisions he has made in the NFL. But we'll see. This Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh my gosh. I remember when I was waiting for Aaron Rodgers to sign with the Steelers. We were all waiting what was going to happen with him, because Jets didn't want to deal with him. He didn't want to deal with the Jets, so he says, kudos to you, Jets. See ya. In my opinion, I like Aaron. There's certain things I don't like about Aaron Rodgers, but I do think he is a good football player. I really do. For me, I think they're mediocre at best this year because, actually, you know what? I changed my mind. They're missing the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers, he's 40-some years old. I think this will be his last ride and die kind of situation with the NFL, and then he's going to retire. He just is. I hope Pittsburgh, if they do tank this season, I hope they draft a really good quarterback and be where they were at when Big Ben was around. But other than that, I think they're missing the playoffs. But you know what? If they make it, you guys can laugh at me for that. For me on Pittsburgh, they're missing the playoffs. The Atlanta Falcons. You know, the Atlanta Falcons, it's hard to say because I don't even know who's on that team anymore. I know Kirk Cousins is, but I think he's going to be benched for this whole season. So I think he's going to be QB2. So in my opinion, with Atlanta Falcons, I think they're just young, but just haven't found their groove yet. I'm sorry, but they're just not there yet. They haven't made it to playoffs in a long time. And then after that, it's like, what's next for the Falcons? Who knows? So, I say they're young. They're just young. The New England Patriots. Where do I begin with my childhood? I grew up watching Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben. Who else? Drew Brees. When Tom Brady was in New England, he was good. And I always hated New England. For me, in my opinion, I think they're still a young team. With Mike Vrabel being the head coach now there, I don't think they're going to... In my opinion, I would say they're missing the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to have a really good season. Drake May hasn't really showed me enough to say, oh, well, yeah, they're going to miss the playoffs, or they're a wild card team. I can't see myself putting them up there. So for me, they're young. They got certain talents. So, I mean, it just depends how the season goes. The Cowboys, I'm just going to put them there. Sorry, Tim, if you're watching this video. The Cowboys are just the #1 pick for contention. They always say, oh, this is our year. We're going to Super Bowl. We're going to Super Bowl. It's like the Taylor Swifts and the Kansas City Chiefs. Swifty, Swifty, Swifty. For me, the Cowboys are just right here. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tim. If you're watching this, sorry. Can't help you there. With that being said, the New York Jets. Now, I know Justin Fields has signed with the Jets for, I think it was a 3-year deal, I want to say. I couldn't remember how much. It wasn't big. With the 3-year deal with Justin Fields, I'd say they're just mediocre at best. Until the regular season starts, like I said, I may be wrong. They're either here or here. They could have really good games, or they could have really bad ones. Who knows? For me, they're mediocre at best. That's all I gotta say. The New York Giants. Now, I know Russell Wilson is the starter quarterback. I did see the rookie. I think the last name is Dart. Really funky name. For me, I don't think, if Russell Wilson plays really well and Malik Neighbors plays really well, I think they're going to have a good season, but they're missing the playoffs. I think it's going to be down to the line, fourth quarter. Russell Wilson starts an interception. Game's over. They're eliminated from playoffs. Sorry, but I just don't think they're going to be really a playoff team this year. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, I really hated him at first in 2020 because he played pretty well for the Jags for a little bit. Went to the playoffs in 22, lost it against Kansas City. Still has not made it back since then. In my opinion, I think they're the #1 contention. I think some people are saying they're going to Super Bowl. I don't believe that. Unless Trevor Lawrence proves me wrong, then maybe they're right, not up here, but maybe missing the playoffs. Like I said, with the New York Giants, they have a really good season, but they're in a struggle with the record, and it's down the line. Fourth quarter, throws an interception. That's where I see the Minnesota Vikings. This is a really hard one to pick. I want to say that J.J. McCarthy, I don't know. I say they're young. They're a young team right now. I heard Adam Thielen is back to the Vikings, but until the regular season starts, maybe J.J. McCarthy will prove me wrong. They got Justin Jefferson, so there's that. McCarthy throws it darts towards Jefferson. I think they could be a really more of a playoff team. They made it last year with Darnold, and Darnold played really well. That was probably the best I've seen out of Darnold for a long time. The Saints. Who is the quarterback? Is this Spencer? Is that his name? I don't even know who the quarterback, because Derek Carr is already retired now. So, I don't know. That's really hard for me to choose. I would say they're a young team. They're not going to have a good season. I'm sorry, Saints fans. You're not going to have a really good season. Unless whatever the quarterback's name is. If he plays well and he does well, then great. I don't even know who's on that team anymore, like I've said my whole entire life. Because I've seen highlights, but I don't know who's on that team anymore. I know Brandon Cooks is, but that's it. The North Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young is on his last year of the contract. And Bryce Young has to play good for him to have a good year. For me, this is a hard one to choose. They're mediocre at best. I'm sorry, Carolina fans. Bryce Young has to prove better than what he's been proving for the last 2 years. I hope they make it to the playoffs, but I may be wrong. If they play really well, they could be a wild card potential, and that's it. I can't see them being a huge playoffs team. Cardinals. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. Good, solid duos, but for me, they're right where Carolina is. They play really good ball, but they always end up losing games each Sunday. And it's hard for me to say, well, they're really they're gonna be missing the playoffs. I haven't seen them in the playoffs since probably 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago. I don't know. It was in 2022 they made it. They had a good season, but then they missed the first round of playoffs. So for me, they're mediocre at best. The Las Vegas Raiders. You know, being Tom Brady, being like a somewhat GM. For me, you guys could laugh at me for doing this, but I think they're still a young team. Geno Smith, good quarterback. I think he's gonna play really well with the Raiders. No Devontae Adams. I don't even know whose wide receivers are on there anymore. So it may be a rookie wide receiver who could prove everybody wrong. And then with Max Crosby, he's a good defensive player. No doubt about it. I do not hate him. I think he's really good in so many ways. So, in my opinion, I think they are a young, integrating team. I don't think they're going to be making the playoffs. I don't think... And if they are a playoff team this year, if the people fans think they are, great, congratulations. But if I was saying the Raiders, if they had a good season, but it would be like with the New York Giants, missing the playoffs because they lost in the fourth quarter with an interception, then yeah, that's a good season in my opinion, and maybe a heartbreaking one. But in my opinion, I think they're still a young team. I don't think they're going to have the best of the best. Pete Carroll's the head coach, so we'll see. So, this is my tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Let's root for our teams. Let's have a good season. And for me, I hope I know Kansas City will be probably back in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry to anybody who hates the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will be in the Super Bowl. For God's sakes, please let the Colts play well. I'm praying every night that Colts do well this year. So, of all the things, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave a comment if you want more tier lists in the future. Of all things, I'll catch you guys later.